Of course, a big contributor to the carbon footprint comes from motor vehicles. There are more than 1 billion of them on the planet's roads, about 25 million in Canada. So enter Tesla's electric cars. No emissions from the vehicles, but lots of promises to disrupt the auto industry. The company has generated a lot of hype, but so far, no profit. Today, Tesla released its latest quarterly report. Second quarter losses were more than expected, but the company burned through less cash. Revenue was up slightly as production steadied. Our senior business correspondent, Peter Armstrong, has been looking into the state of Tesla and what it needs to do now.
Right. And Ian, Tesla has loads of issues, but it has 3 fundamental problems. And the biggest among those is production. It's been this painfully long, excruciating process to get to this. 53,000 cars a quarter. But even those numbers, they pale in comparison to any of the big U.S. auto companies. GM makes nearly 2 million vehicles a quarter. And the math here is pretty simple. Tesla needs to make these cars to bring in money. And even with all of this progress, it still expects to lose $1.2 billion this year, which means it may have to borrow money. And the question then becomes, who's going to buy Tesla bonds and at what cost?
I think a lot of folks that are bullish on the stock are happy to give the company more money when they ask for it. And so I don't think there's an issue about access to capital right now. I think it's an issue of what price.
The question now becomes whether maybe Elon Musk has lost some of his mojo. We had this bizarre phone call with analysts after the last quarterly report.
Your capital requirement. Next. Boring bonehead questions are not cool. Next. I think that if people are concerned about volatility, they should definitely not buy our stock. I am not here to convince you to buy our stock.
Worse, though, Musk isn't exactly winning over his critics right now. Ontario's new Premier Doug Ford just revoked this generous rebate program. Tesla's Model 3 cost $45,600. Ontario's $14,000 rebate made it a much more affordable car, but that program's been abruptly canceled.
People have this misconception about Tesla buyers that we're all rich and that we're all upper class or whatever, and that's not the reality. I'm a teacher. My wife is a teacher. I know a lot of people like me who are middle class who are not going to be able to afford this car if we don't receive the rebate.
Now, Ian, Ontario's a bit player, but other jurisdictions are looking at these rebates and looking at revoking them as well. And when you think about the market share that Tesla has, it certainly can't afford to lose any ground.
So let's talk about that market share. Surprisingly few Teslas actually on the road.
I brought the stat in. Electric cars make up 0.3% of the cars on the road in Canada. 14,000 of those are Teslas. Is not even the #1 plug-in car. That's the Chevy Volt.
So the question is, are we possibly at a turning point? What are you looking for now?
Well, the 3 issues that I brought up, production, cash burn, and Musk's behavior. Production is certainly trending more positive. Cash burn, as you said, is looking better. And there's a nice moment in the earnings call where Musk actually apologized to that analyst that he was a little rude to. And I think put all that together, analysts and shareholders are all looking at this and saying this is a good news earnings report, and it's certainly a positive trend for this company going forward.
Thanks, Peter.
You bet.
And the early indication is that investors seem pretty pleased with today's report. Tesla reaffirmed that it will be profitable, and at today's close, the company's stock finished the day at just over $300. So now it's up more than 9% in after-hours trading.